Good morning, entrepreneurs, dreamers, fighters of destiny. Let me tell you a story. In 1999, when we started Alibaba in my apartment with 17 friends and one bowl of instant noodles, I told them, we are going to build an empire. And one of them looked at me like, Jack, are you okay? Maybe the noodles expired, but I was serious. I believed that business is like war. Yes, it is a battlefield. There are enemies called competitors. There are casualties called bad decisions. There are spies called market analysts. And there are traitors called former employees who join your competitors. But let me make something very clear. Just because business is war doesn't mean you need to become a villain. Yes, I said it. You don't need to fight dirty. In fact, if you want long-term success, you better keep your hands clean and your heart clear. Because dirty fighters win battles, but clean players win wars. Let me explain. A lot of people think that to win in business, you must lie, cheat, steal ideas, or crush your competitors like cockroaches. No, that's not strategy. That's stupidity with a business card. When I started Alibaba, we were not the first e-commerce company. We had big competitors like eBay. They had more money, better infrastructure, and their logo didn't look like it was made on Microsoft Paint. People said, Jack, how are you going to beat eBay? I said, I'm not going to beat them. I'm going to understand them. Then I will serve the customers better. You see, war is not always about destroying your enemy. Sometimes it's about outsmarting them. Learn their weaknesses. Improve your service. Be so good that customers leave them without you lifting a finger. Be like water. Water doesn't fight with rocks. It flows around them, smoothens them, and eventually wears them down. So if your strategy includes bribery, slandering your competitors, or selling expired mangoes with fake labels, you're not a warrior. You're just a thug in a suit. In war, your armor protects you. In business, your armor is your reputation. And believe me, once your armor is broken, no one trusts you on the battlefield. I've seen businesses take shortcuts. They copy others. They use black hat marketing. They promise heaven and deliver hell. For a moment, they grow fast, like weeds. But weeds don't last. Trees do. When people trust you, they give you more than their money. They give you loyalty. And that is more powerful than any paid advertisement or social media trend. At Alibaba, we focused on making small businesses feel like heroes. We wanted to empower others. That was our mission. And guess what? That became our reputation. So ask yourself, do people trust your brand, or are they just waiting to see what scam you pull next? Remember, it takes years to build a reputation and just one dirty trick to destroy it. In war, it's easy to demonize your enemies, but in business, you must rise above this thinking. Your competitor is not Satan in a suit. They are just like you, hungry, ambitious, trying to feed their team, build their dream, and survive. You don't need to destroy them, you need to outgrow them. Let me give you a funny example. Once someone told me, Jack, did you hear that your competitor is poaching your staff? I said, let them. If my staff wants to go, let them go. I want people who believe in my mission, not prisoners who are just here for salary. Sometimes your competitors will try to copy you, undercut you, even badmouth you. Smile, be calm. You don't become a lion by barking back at dogs. Focus on your product, your people, your process, and let the results speak for you. In war, the general leads the army. In business, the customer is the general. If you serve them well, you win. If you disrespect them, you die. Simple. Now let me make a confession. When we started Alibaba, we didn't have money, but we had one powerful weapon, customer obsession. I used to personally reply to customer emails at 2 a.m. I would say, thank you for trusting us. We will do better. Not because I was trying to look good, but because I was serious. A businessman who ignores the customer is like a soldier who ignores his gun. You're already dead. You just don't know it. Serve the customer like they are your boss. Because they are. They can fire you at any time by spending their money somewhere else. People think dirty tactics work because they bring quick money. Yes, lying might give you a customer today, but truth will keep them tomorrow. Stealing might help you win this year, but innovation will help you win the decade. Backstabbing might get you promoted, but integrity will build you a legacy. If you can build your business on honesty, fairness, and service, congratulations. You've built an empire with unshakable foundations. I tell my teams, let's build a business that our grandchildren will be proud of, because I don't want to be the richest man in the cemetery. I want to be the man who built something beautiful, useful, and honest. People laughed at me when I said we would build the biggest online marketplace in China. They said, Jack, you don't know technology. You're just an English teacher. I said, yes, but I understand people. They laughed harder. Some investors said I was dreaming. Others said I was lying. Some even said I looked like an alien. Okay, that one hurt. But I stayed focused. You see, in business, just like war, your biggest enemy is distraction. Distraction comes in many forms. Critics, ego, shortcuts, social media likes. Don't chase applause, chase purpose. If your mission is clear, the noise becomes background music. In war, soldiers don't fight because of orders. They fight because they believe in the cause. Same with business. If your team is only there for salary, they will leave the moment someone offers $1 more. But if they believe in your vision, your mission, your values, they will stay even when things get tough. That's why from the start, I didn't just hire smart people, I hired believers. I told them, we're not building a website. We are changing how people do business in China. That sounded crazy, but belief is contagious. And if you have a team that believes in honor, you don't need to fight dirty. They will fight smart together. In business, you will face temptation. Oh yes, big money, big names, big contracts. They will knock on your door wearing designer suits, carrying golden briefcases, and offering promises that sound like music to your ears. But be careful. Some of that music is just a beautiful ringtone on a phone call from the devil. Let me tell you, not every opportunity is a blessing. Some are beautiful traps. They shine, they sparkle, but they smell like rotten fish wearing expensive perfume. Your instincts will whisper, something's not right. Your conscience will scream, run. But then your accountant, your lawyer, maybe even your cousin will say, Jack, the numbers look amazing. It's free money. What do? Walk away. Because in business, your conscience is your true compass. When you follow it, you might lose a deal, but you will never lose your soul. And that's a trade you should never make. Let me share a real example. Years ago, a powerful corporation approached us for a partnership. On paper, it looked like a dream deal. Billions in revenue, instant global access, red carpets, champagne. But behind the scenes, they wanted to manipulate vendors, twist pricing, and corner the market unfairly. I looked at them, smiled, and said, no, thank you. People thought I had lost my mind. They said, Jack, you just turned down $1 billion partnership. Are you okay? I told them, yes, I'm okay. In fact, I sleep like a baby. I'd rather lose a deal than win with guilt. Guess what? That decision helped us grow even faster. Because people saw that we were not just smart, we were honest. And in a world full of trickery, honesty is rare and very powerful. So remember, follow your conscience. Money can build you a mansion, but peace of mind, that builds you a legacy. Let me tell you something funny. You can manipulate Google rankings. You can buy fake reviews. You can even hire a PR agency to make you look like a saint. But you cannot bribe karma. Karma sees everything. Every lie, every cheat, every cut corner. And one day when you least expect it, karma knocks on your office door and says, time to pay, my friend. But the opposite is also true. When you play fair, help others, forgive enemies, and serve your customers, even when no one is watching, karma brings you miracles. That investor who rejected you, he comes back. That employee you mentored, he saves the company. That small act of honesty, it becomes your brand. So don't worry if others win by fighting dirty. Karma is watching them and rewarding you. Let me end with this. Yes, business is war, but not the war of destruction. It's the war of creation. Not the war of bloodshed, but of innovation. Not the war of enemies, but of ideas. You can be the general of an army that fights with love, service, integrity, and vision. You can build a company that grows without stepping on others. You can make money without losing your soul. You can win this war and still sleep well at night. And one day, when your story is told, they won't just say you were rich, they'll say you were right. So go out there, build boldly, compete fiercely, lead wisely, but most of all, fight clean. Because the world doesn't need more businessmen. It needs more business warriors with honor. Thank you.